Hello students, welcome to the lecture series of fluid mechanics. Myself, Professor Dhruv Patel. Our today's topic will be chapter number 4, energy equation and its applications. So let us see the course content for this topic. First of all, we will learn about Euler equation derivation, then Bernoulli equation, then we will derive derivation of Venturi meter and orifice meter, then time required to empty the tank from orifice meter at the bottom of the tank, then various types of notches and example based on above topic. Clear? So let us consider first of all Euler equation. This is also considered as an energy equation. So what do you mean by Euler equation? What is purpose of it? So let us take one sketch here as shown in this. In this sketch, flow occurs in S direction, right? So flow occurs in S direction. This is unidirectional flow. Flow occurs in only in one direction, that is known as S direction. Suppose this is hollow circular pipe. So flow entering from this side and going out from this side, right? So following forces are present while flow occurs in the fluid pipe. First of all, gravity forces, pressure forces are there, forces due to viscosity are there, forces due to turbulence are also there, and forces of compressibility are there. Now we have to take some assumption for derivation of Euler equation. First of all, flow is ideal, so fluid has no viscosity. Flow is steady, so derivation with respect to time is equal to 0. Flow is incompressible. That means density remains same throughout the pipe. Flow is irrotational, homogeneous flow and unidirectional flow. What do you mean by unidirectional flow? So generally there is a three direction X, Y and Z. But here we are assuming that our flow occurs only in S direction. So other two direction forces will be zero. So that is known as unidirectional flow. So why we are taking such an assumption? So assumption are for easy derivation of Euler equation, right? Now this is known as equation of motion also, and which forces due to pressure and gravity are only taken as a forces. In that all other forces are taken as a neglected, but we have to take only pressure and gravity force, that means weight W, right? So let us understand the sketch first. So here one pipe is there, flow occurs in S direction, right hand side. So at this area, in the pressure inlet or flow inlet, pressure force will be pressure into area, so pressure P into small cross section area dA, right? At opposite direction, due to pressure gradient, pressure increases, so pressure P plus pressure gradient, that means del P by del S, increase in pressure particular del S size length, del P by del S into ds. So we have to pressure gradient here, so pressure is somewhat increasing and into small cross sectional area dA. Clear students? So this is coming against the inlet pressure. Now weight W. W is always in the downward direction at 90 degree. So suppose this angle is theta. So this component will be W cos theta in the downward direction, right? So let us balance S direction forces first of all. So first of all, we have to take right hand side forces as a plus. So P into dA. This forces is left hand side, so minus P plus del P by del S ds into dA, and W cos theta is also in the left hand side, so minus W cos theta is equal to force is equal to mass into acceleration, right? So guys, this is our equation number 1. We will find various values of this equation and solve this equation, right? So first of all, here we have to find mass, acceleration and value of W for simple equations. So first of all, mass. You already studied in the chapter number 1. What do you mean by mass? Mass is equal to rho into V, right? So particularly rho is density. So rho is equal to mass by volume. So mass is equal to rho into volume. So mass is equal to rho into volume. So here rho as it is volume. Volume we can take as area into distance. So dA into ds. Clear? So mass is equal to rho dA ds. Now weight W. Weight W is equal to rho Vg, right? You have already studied in chapter number 1. So rho for volume dA into ds and for G as it is. So we have find out value of W and mass. Clear, students? Now we have to find out value of acceleration. So let us move on next slide. So here acceleration, you already know about it. Acceleration is vector quantity. So acceleration is dependent on x, y, z direction and time as well. So if any quantity is depends on more than one parameter, we have to take partial differentiation for that equation. So acceleration is basically velocity divided by time, but it is depend on x, y, z and time. So we have to take partial differentiation with respect to x, y, z and time. So first of all, see this segment, partial differentiation with respect to x. That means del v by del x and fully differentiation dx by dt, plus partial differentiation with respect to y and dy by dt fully differentiation. Similar way for z direction and similar way for time. Clear? Now here dt got cancelled. Here our flow is unidirectional. So unidirectional flow, that means x, y and z. From that three directional, we have to find only one direction only. So particularly two direction will get cancelled out. So y and z direction got cancelled out. We have take assumption here flow is steady flow. So derivation with respect to time is also zero. So for steady flow, del v by del t also got cancelled. So remaining term is this del v by del x dx by dt, right? So here our flow is in the s direction, not in x direction. So we have to take del v by del s and ds by dt. Clear, students? Now ds by dt, displacement derivation with respect to time, that is known as velocity v, and other term remain as it is del v by del s. So our acceleration in s direction simply taken as v into del v by del s. Clear? Now put all the values of mass, weight and acceleration in our equation number 1. So here is the equation number 1 as we have derived earlier. P into dA minus P plus del P by del S ds into dA minus W cos theta is equal to mass into acceleration. We have to put value of mass, W and acceleration in it. So first of all, see here P into dA minus P into dA. So P into dA and this P into dA got cancelled. So what is remaining? This minus sign and del P by del S ds into dA. So minus del P by del S ds into dA, minus sign again. For W, we have find out rho into dA ds into G cos theta as it is. For value of mass, mass is equal to rho into volume dA ds, we have find out earlier. Acceleration is this v del v by del s. Clear, students? Now cos theta value, remember this cos theta value. Suppose we refer our sketch, yes, this one. So we have to find out cos theta value from this sketch. Let us take this segment at outer side. So we can draw like this. This is value of theta. This is s direction. So ds here. This is z direction. The dz here. And this is x direction. So dx here. And this is 90 degree. So this side will become hypotenuse, right? So if you want to find cos theta from this triangle, what do you mean by cos theta? Nearer side. So dz divided by hypotenuse ds. So dz divided by ds is the value of cos theta. Clear? So we put value of cos theta in this equation. So instead of cos theta, we put dz by ds. Clear, students? Now divide this equation by rho dA into ds. This is important key step. Remember it while derivation. Rho dA into ds. Divide all these parameters by rho dA ds. So let us derive it. Here dA got dA ds got cancelled and rho remaining. So 1 by rho del P by del S. Here rho dA ds got cancelled. So what is remaining? Minus G into dz by ds and is equal to this side rho dA ds got cancelled. So V del V by del S remains. Clear? Let us rearrange this equation. So V del V by del S plus 1 by rho del P by del S plus G del Z by del S is equal to 0. Here from this equation, velocity, pressure and head, all the parameters depends on single parameter ds. See at bottom, all the parameters depends on single parameter ds. So we can replace this partial differentiation with fully differentiation also, right? Suppose parameter depends on more than one parameter, then we have to take partial differentiation. But suppose if it depends on only single parameter, then only we have to take simple derivation. So V, instead of partial derivation, we can take fully differentiation. So dV by ds plus 1 by rho dP by ds plus Z dz by ds, right? If we divide all the three terms by ds, 1 by ds common and V dV plus 1 by rho dP plus Z into dz is equal to 0. Now let us rearrange again. 1 by rho dP plus V dV plus Z dz is equal to 0. This equation is known as Euler equation of motion. Clear students? I again repeat, 1 by rho dP plus V dV plus Z dz is equal to 0. This is known as Euler equation of motion. Clear students? So what we have to do regarding Euler equation, first you have to draw the sketch, then balance the s direction component, then take assumption. We have to take only pressure and gravity forces. So left hand side pressure P into dA, right hand side pressure gradient, so P plus del P by del S into ds into dA into and W. So W component W cos theta is in the S direction. So you have to balance S direction component is equal to force is equal to mass into acceleration. Then you have to find out simply value of mass, weight, acceleration. Then put value of all the three parameters in main equation. Then rearranging equation will get you Euler equation. So dP by rho plus VdV plus Z dz is equal to 0. That is known as Euler equation. Clear? You have to remember this equation. Now let us understand Bernoulli's equation from Euler equation. So what do you mean by Bernoulli equation? So it is basically called as energy equation. And how can you get this or how can you derive this? So first of all, Bernoulli equation can be derived by integrating the Euler equation. So simply let us do integration of Euler equation. So first of all, what do you mean by Euler equation? So dP by rho plus VdV plus Z dz is equal to 0. So integration of this, so integration of dP by rho, integration of VdV and integration of Z dz is equal to 0. 0 integration, that means constant. Here the flow is incompressible, so rho is taken as a constant. So 1 by rho constant and integration of del P, that means P. So here P by rho. Now integration of V with respect to dV. So V square by 2 plus Z is constant and integration of dz is taken as Z. So P by rho plus V square by 2 plus ZZ is equal to constant. If we divide all the parameter, all three parameters by rho, then we will obtain P by rho G plus V square by 2G plus Z is equal to constant. That is known as Bernoulli's equation. So basically here P by rho G is known as pressure head, V square by 2G is known as kinetic head and Z is known as potential head in terms of height. So all three parameters are in terms of meter. So you can find total energy from any fluid in meter of height. Clear? This is known as Bernoulli equation. And see this. Suppose we have a pipe like this cross section. Yes. Suppose here cross section number 1 and here point number 2. So we have to find energy between point 1 and point 2. So what we will do? So we will apply Bernoulli equation between point number 1 and point number 2. That is P by rho g plus V square by 2g plus Z for point number 1 is equal to P by rho g plus V square by 2g plus Z for point number 2. From Bernoulli equation, we can say this: for any cross-sectional area of the pipe, for similar pipe, total energy remains same, whether it is diameter of 10 meter or whether it is here diameter of 5 meter, but total energy remains same according to Bernoulli's equation. This is applicable only for ideal fluid. So in real life, day-to-day life, there is no such fluid as ideal fluid. So we have to derive Bernoulli equation for real fluid also. So in case of real fluid, we have to add this losses HL, that means head losses in terms of losses, right? So we have to add head losses for real fluid. Clear? So this is known as Bernoulli equation. Now let us solve one example based on Bernoulli energy equation. So first of all, we have to understand what do we mean by discharge. So guys, discharge is equal to volume divided by time, or we can say volumetric flow rate per unit time. Discharge can be said as a flow rate also. So symbol of discharge is Q, that is known as volume divided by time, or discharge can be known as area into velocity, right? So what is the SI unit of discharge here? So discharge is equal to volume divided by time. So volume SI unit meter cube, and for time SI unit is second. So for discharge SI unit is meter cube per second. So there is two equation of discharge. Remember this. First one is discharge is equal to volume divided by time, and second one is discharge is equal to area into velocity. Area into velocity. Clear? So area into velocity. For area meter square, for velocity meter per second. So SI unit will be meter cube per second. Clear guys? So discharge will be volume by time or area into velocity. We will find discharge in meter cube per second in SI unit. Clear? There is certain basic definitions or basic concept about discharge. If the pipe is throughout with respect to its diameter or with respect to its cross-sectional area, then discharge remains same. Suppose we have one pipe, at the one end pipe diameter is 100 mm and at the another end pipe diameter is 200 mm. Then also for the same pipe section 1 and for section 2, discharge will remain same. But if the pipe branches in two sections, if one pipe branches in two sections, then only discharge will divide. Clear this concept? Okay. Then let us take this example. The water is flowing through the tapering pipe having diameters of 300 mm and 150 mm at section 1 and 2 respectively. So for section 1 we can take D1 and for section 2 D2. 300 mm we have to convert it into SI units. So divide by 1000, 0.3 meter, and D2 is equal to 0.15 meter. Now the discharge throughout the pipe is 40 liter per second. So discharge Q is equal to 40 liter per second. But as we have derived discharge equation, SI unit is meter cube per second. So we have to convert liter to meter cube. So divide by 1000. So 0.04 meter cube per second. Clear? Next one is the section 1 is 10 meter above the datum line. So datum line is this, suppose as shown in this case. So 10 meter above the datum line, that means head Z1 is equal to 10 meter. Similar way for section 2, Z2 is equal to 6 meter. The find the pressure intensity at section 2. That means we have to find value of P2 at the section 1. Pressure is 400 kilonewton per meter square. So P1 is equal to 400 kilonewton per meter square. The SI unit of pressure is Newton per meter square. So we have to convert kilonewton to Newton. So into 10 raised to 3. So 400 into 10 raised to 3 Newton per meter square. Clear guys? Let us draw sketch of this given data. So here it is one pipe as shown in sketch. Here Z1 is 10 meter, Z2 is 6 meter. Now cross-sectional diameter of Z1 is 300 mm and at Z2 diameter is 0.15. Discharge, this is a single pipe, so discharge will remain same throughout all the cross-section. So discharge is 0.04 meter cube per second during this pipe. We have to find out pressure intensities at this point P2. Clear? So let us use Bernoulli equation simply. So P1 by rho g V1 square by 2g plus Z1, that is for section 1, is equal to P2 by rho g plus V2 square by 2g plus Z2 for section 2. Because according to Bernoulli equation, energy remains same throughout the pipe, right? So here we have to find out first of all P2. This will be our output. Here guys, P2, this will be our output. So we have to find out all other data. So here Z1 and Z2 is already in the given data. P1 is already in the given data. For water, rho is 1000, G is 9.81. 2 into G is already given. Rho G for water is given. 2 into G is 9.81. So we have to find out V1 and V2 first. Then after we can find value of V2. So how can we find V1 and V2? So in given data, discharge is given. So we have already known about this. Discharge is equal to volume by time as well as discharge is equal to area into velocity. So for cross section number 1, discharge Q is equal to area into velocity. This is circular pipe. So discharge Q 0.04 and area pi by 4 d1 square and velocity V1. Here, so by this equation we can find V1, and similar way for the cross sectional 2 we can write Q is equal to A2 V2. So we can find V2 is equal to 2.26 meter per second. If we put value of P1 and V2 in this equation and all other given data in this equation, by this method we can find value of P2 in SI unit. So value of P2 is 436797.11 Newton per meter square. Clear guys? So simply you have to apply Bernoulli equation at various sections, so you can find pressure, velocity, all the data in all sections. There, let us understand another example. Okay, so here is in given data a pipe of 350 mm diameter, a pipe of 350 mm diameter branches into two pipes. So here is a pipe A with 350 mm diameter. It branches into pipe B and C. So let us draw here pipe B and C, two branches. The diameter of 200 mm and 150 mm. So diameter of B is 200 mm and diameter of C is 150 mm. So here all the diameters are given. For A 350 mm, for B 200 mm and for C 150 mm. We have to convert all the diameters in meter. Clear? If the average velocity in the pipe A for A, so V of A is 2.5 meter per second. For velocity meter per second is SI unit. Then determine the discharge through pipe A. Discharge through pipe A, that means Q of A. Velocity of pipe C, that means velocity of C. If the velocity of pipe B, this is given 1.5 meter per second. So velocity of B is 1.5 meter per second. Clear? So let us understand sketch first. Here one pipe A is this. Pipe branches into two another pipe B and C. For this arrangement, diameter is given for all the data and velocity is given for pipe A and pipe C. We have to find discharge in this area and velocity in this area. Clear? So here we have to use simple equation of discharge only. So first of all, basically discharge is equal to Q is equal to area into velocity, right? Let us divide this example into three branches. Here segment 1 contains part A. Here segment 2 contains part B. Here segment 3 contains part C. So first of all, let us take equation for part A. Clear? So here Q of A is equal to area of A into velocity of A. Q of A is equal to circular pipe, so area will be pi by 4 d square into velocity. Here in this equation, pi by 4 diameter is given, velocity is given, so we can find discharge 0.24 meter cube per second. So at this section, discharge will be 0.24, right? So now after that point, pipe branches into two pipe, so discharge will be divided in two segments. So here let us take this equation for second segment. For segment B, discharge is equal to area into velocity. So QB is equal to pi by 4 d square into velocity of B. Here pi by 4 diameter is given, velocity of B is given, so we can find discharge in this section also, right? So remember this QA and QB is now available. So here Q of A is 0.24. Clear? From this 0.24, 0.047 discharge will be considered in pipe number B. So what will be the discharge in pipe number C? So we have to subtract discharge of B from the discharge of A, total discharge. So here total discharge QA is equal to QB plus QC. QA is equal to QB plus QC. So QC is equal to QA minus QB. So QC is equal to 0.193 meter cube per second. But we have to find velocity in this direction. So velocity, that means QC is equal to area into velocity. Here QC is already given, pi by 4 d square is already known, so we can find velocity by this method. Clear?